Namaste. Namaste, good evening, Adab, Sat Sri Akal. Welcome to my live session on Pure Soul with Yoga with me, Pooja. Uh, well, um, Today I thought instead of doing the regular exercises, what I feel the most important aspect of yoga is emotional well being in today's time, psychological well being in today's time, which many people do not identify the need with, but is utmost needed. Now I'll explain in a simplified manner what that means is see in the growing years when the technology has risen and we have advanced as a society and we're in this 21st century with so much of modernization advancement in every field, but the only thing that we are regressing in is our interpersonal relationships that we have with our family, with our friends, with our relatives, and we constantly have this void that we think nobody understands us, and people are selfish. Society is we should protect our children, we should protect our families from the societies, whereas internally also inside the family also there is a lot of you know there's a gap, there's a communication gap, there is something missing, as I can say. And a few days back somebody asked me, in fact asked for my opinion, as I'm also a child counselor, and asked me that how do children cope up with this lockdown situation, how it impacts them. So I said that children are addicted to mobile phones and technology these days, and they don't get attention of their parents any which ways, whether there was a lockdown or no lockdown. Well, situation has become a little more bad after lockdown, but even before lockdown, because of working parents, children were not getting that much attention from the parents, because parents are busy making money, making their careers, whereas children are a full-time responsibility and they need constant attention, just like each one of us need constant attention. And that is why we keep seeking for like-minded partners, we keep seeking for more and more understanding, love. If we don't get it from one friend, we switch to another. If we don't get it from another, we switch to the third. But we keep on switching till we keep finding. This is what is happening through social media these days, because it's a open forum, anybody can interact with anyone. Now that the world has become a very smaller place, we can see anybody from any country and reach out to anyone just through a text message, etc. So we can connect immediately. But soon after that connection, we also have a disconnection, and we start having doubts and fears after some time, and we are getting affected by this. Our relationships are not growing healthier. We may be advancing in terms of technology and many other things. We keep listening to this, India is a upcoming developing country, okay, but all of that really does not matter if we as humans do not grow stronger. And the strength lies in how we handle emotions, how we handle how we perceive things through our mind. And that is why I mentioned the psychological and the emotional well-being, which is the most crucial thing to be talked about, to be discussed, to be bring it up, and even raise a question about it, that something that we call emotional quotient What is, people talk about IQ, intelligence quotient, but what about emotional quotient? How understanding are you about others, um, pain or problem? Now, we agree that everybody goes through pain in life. There is no human being on this earth who has a struggle free life, okay? Just because somebody is on top of the list on Forbes magazine, that releases every year, this one is the richest person in the world, does not mean that person is free of problems. Because if that was the case, I don't think champions or millionaires or leaders are made like that. You have to go through a very a big rough road. You have to go through really tough times to get there, to understand the value, to be sensitive of the smallest issue. And how is that possible? How do you understand? It is difficult to understand the outer world. It is very difficult, it is very complicated, it is too vast to understand the outer universe. So in spirituality, we talk about going inwards. In Ashtanga Yoga, after Bahiranga Yoga, that is Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahara is a bridge that takes you from Bahirang to Antarang. So when we reach to the higher level, that is Dharan, Dhyan, Samadhi, the last 3 stages of Ashtanga Yoga is all about going inwards. That's why it's called Antarang Yoga. And that is when we discover our inner universe, we come to know who we truly are, we know how to deal with the outside world. This thing I have explained in a technique called reflection a few days back, which I covered live on Instagram and on Facebook. And I also asked for feedback. If anybody has practiced reflection, do give me feedback, because only when you implement these things will you understand, or you'll get the validation whether it works or it does not work, and how much sense does it make. So, because just by listening to the theory is not sufficient. One has to experience it practically to understand the scientific, process of these things. It's no longer the era where the Babas and the Sadhus and the Sant used to take. They used to be orators, and they used to address to the massive masses and tell them this is what you're supposed to do. No, I think what we learn from Swami Vivekananda and the greatest teachers in history is that a teacher does not ever tell you what to do. Teacher tells you where to see and find your own answers. If someone tells you this is what you're supposed to do, that means it straight away calls for exploitation. You're not supposed to follow someone else's philosophy. You're not supposed to follow someone else's way of life or through their experience. We all learn through our own experience. Only until we transform through our experiences, we are truly growing. Otherwise, growth is not possible. If we do not take every painful experience healthily, if we do not take every painful experience in the right spirit, we do not allow ourselves to get transformed, we are simply evolving chronologically, but not mentally, not spiritually, not psychologically, which is the significant, which is the most crucial aspect of growth, of human development, of self-realization, of self-actualization. So, a lot of intellectuals talk about introducing this concept of emotional well-being, emotional intelligence in the schools these days. And why is that? Because we are training our children to become entrepreneurs. We are training our children to become very big and financially independent and financially strong in life. But what about emotional strength? Because that is the foundation, that is the basis. Your money may go away. Okay, this coronavirus situation has put everybody in an equal category. There is no rich or poor. Everybody has to abide by the rules. Everybody has to bow down and understand that nature is higher than human mind. So it is not the money, it is not the wealth, the outer wealth, the material wealth that is going to decide or determine your actual strength, your actual foundation. It is your mental strength, it is your emotional well-being that is going to decide how strong you're going to stand in life and how far you're going to go with the, your inner strength, believing in what you want to do in life and standing all for yourself and not allowing anybody to influence your mind, your thoughts, your ideas. And that is when you become a true creator. Okay, a creator never gets influenced by someone else's ideas and does not think of walking in a herd or a group and saying that, okay, if the majority is doing this, I am doing this because the majority is doing this, so I want to conform to the society, I want to conform to the group, and that is why I have to do that. That's not creation. That kills your creativity. If you want to be creative, you've got to be in touch with yourself. You've got to rise your intuitive level, and the only way it's possible is when we work on emotional health. Now the process of working on emotional health, as I said, I have taught a very simple technique. It is just a matter of practicing it, implementing it in day-to-day life to understand its importance, to understand how it can bring a radical change in our day-to-day living. And other than that, everything, when we connect with ourselves, if we need to improve our relationship with others, we need to look within ourselves that if and unless we appreciate and we accept ourselves the way we are, okay, if we are not going to accept ourselves with our flaws, okay, everybody wants to see good in themselves, everybody wants to see everything great in themselves, and everybody loves compliments and appreciation. But what about the the weaknesses? What about the areas of improvement? What about the flaws? If you do not accept yourself the way you are, how do you expect to accept others the way they are in your life? And that is the reason why we have constant comparison, we have too much of expectations. Usne meri baat nahi mani, that person did not listen to me, that person is not obeying me, that person is a rebel. Well, everybody is a rebel because everybody has an individual personality, everybody has a strong personality, and that has to be respected. Okay, if you respect yourself truly, you will always respect others. If you are truly loving yourself, you will always love others. If you are seriously compassionate about your the way you are in accepting all your faults and your faults in the past, your mistakes in the past, that everything happened for a reason, believing in divine intervention, believing in faith that he is the one who's doing everything in my life, and I bow down and I surrender to that divinity, and he knows he is guiding me constantly and taking me to the right path. If I surrender to that, most of my problems will shed away and I will have improved relationships with anyone and everyone. And that is the only basis of law of attraction. I think if people are working on manifesting good life and healthy life, rich life, the only basis of law of attraction is to have emotional well-being, to become a creator, to not be a follower, to not do things to please others, to not succumb to situations saying that I have to adjust. No, adjustment is a wrong word. You need to understand that you are a different person, born with a different method and a different surrounding. You have different set of parents who are born in a different manner, and every individual on this earth is different. So you just have to respect the differences in you, to respect the differences in others, and accept the world as it is. Once you accept yourself as it is, you accept the world as it is. There is peace in you, there is peace in your surrounding, and that's about it. I know it sounds very easy. It's not that easy in implementing, and that is only because, again, there is a question mark. We need to sit and reflect and question, why is it difficult? It will be too simple for me to give you answers for everything, but there should be some work done on our own. And I leave you with the thought, until we meet again, and maybe extend or discuss more on this topic depending on the feedback that you give me on this video. So think about, why is it difficult to follow these things when life can be led in a simple manner and can be led peacefully and happily? Then why are we chasing happiness and peace outside? There is nothing outside. Everything comes from inside. We just have to connect with it. So I hope and I pray that you realize your inner wealth and your inner greatness, and triumph over all the things that you run away from. You have fear and aversion, and be very, very, very successful in life, and always be happy and loving. So until we meet again, thank you so much for your presence online, and I love you all. Take very good care of yourselves. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive. Please stay smiling, and namaste.